what do I say about Slunks? I've had Slunks for 7 years. I was never a classically trained hairdresser. I just knew I really enjoyed doing hair and I really enjoyed bright colours. I come from a more of a punk rocker sort of background, and there was no salons like where I wanted to work. There was nowhere to go. I didn't know how to identify with anywhere because I didn't identify with anywhere. I was so interested in bright colours and punky attitudes and different people that I had to create a salon so I felt comfortable in my working environment. I loved creating an environment that is completely alternative, but not alternative in a sort of cheap, tacky way. Alternative in a way of thinking, because that's how I see alternative. I see it as a way of thinking, and we wanted to create a hub. When I started Slunks, I was on my own working, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing really. One of the biggest questions I get, is why is Slunks called Slunks? And to be honest with you, I really don't know. I don't really know why Slunks is called Slunks. I know in the dictionary it means to slouch or to slouch down, but I didn't want to call a salon after my own name. There's so many around, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not different. And to me, I wouldn't feel comfortable with people working in a shop under my name when I wanted to create a youth culture, like a youth club, a hub, a hair hub. So I felt like giving it such a random name, because I couldn't see any salons that were named like that. And it's such a unique statement that it kind of fitted the work we do and the kind of people we are. So calling Slunks was always it was a kind of plucked out of the air name. It doesn't necessarily have deep meaning. I would be lying if I said it does. It definitely doesn't. I knew when I set Slunks up that we were doing something slightly different 7 years ago. Instagram was just becoming a sort of thing. It wasn't huge. Bright colours weren't massive. There was no bonds around to protect the hair from bleaching. So, you were treading on thin ice every time you lifted hair up. But we wanted to create these amazing looks and these classic colours, and we just carried on doing it. And, we persevered, and we went from a tiny little shop to now having a 3-story shop in the city centre, which is incredible. And I'm so thankful that I've got an amazing team behind me now that also love doing what we do. They love bright colours and bold colours, and we're super lucky to have more of a club atmosphere. We help each other out. I wash colours off for the team. It's definitely not a hierarchy sort of salon, and if you were looking for that, you wouldn't find it. It's more of a youth club atmosphere in here where we all work together to create something amazing. When we created Slunks, we wanted to create a hub for culture and for identity, and for people to identify with it. We wanted the people that didn't feel comfortable in going to the gleaming white salons that were they had their time and their place, but there was a new turning point for hair, and Slunks was right at the heart of it, and I feel like we just grabbed it with both hands, and we were just able to push it and do what we wanted to do. It was almost like a rebellion in the hair industry. And now you see so many other salons doing it. And I'm not saying we started it because we didn't. I'm just saying we were lucky enough to be a part of it. And that for me is really important, because as a slightly strange character, which I obviously am, I'm lucky enough to live my dream of just coming to work and having fun and meeting incredible people. And I'm so lucky to have amazing stylists working here and amazing clients that come in and push us, and as you can see from our Instagram, the colours we do, they're totally avant-garde, and they're out there, and we're very lucky to get and do that every day. My background in hair isn't a classical background at all. I did an apprenticeship years and years ago where I just foiled all day long. I wasn't trained very well, I would say, because the salon I came from was more of a money-making salon. And it was a shame, but I got over it, and I stopped hairdressing for a while. And I went into photography because I really enjoyed imagery. But I decided that I really wanted to get back into hair, so I trained myself. I went on courses, I watched YouTube videos, I practiced all day on doll's heads, and then I set my own business up, which is pretty crazy, I know. but I needed to do that, like I said previously, because there was nowhere for me to go. And I really pushed and worked hard for 5 years on creating a different way of colouring, on working really hard to learn new techniques. And I kind of just stumbled through it a little bit, which is great because in an artistic job, you need to have those moments where you stumble across new things. It's so important to do that. That's what makes creative people creative, is sometimes not knowing what's out there and just going and finding it. And when I set that business up, I knew that, it was doing good and we were happy, but the space wasn't right. And sometimes you have to create a space that works alongside the brand. And I knew by coming into the city centre, it was just going to be all or nothing. It was either going to work really well or it was going to fail miserably. And I was willing to fail miserably because in life sometimes you just got to say, fuck it. You just got to push yourself and say, do you know what? I'm just going to go and test it and see. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. You can just go and do something different, or you can try again. You have to fail to succeed in life. And if you're not willing to fail, then you're not going to succeed. And you're not going to find new ways or new things or new ideas. And that's so important. And like I said before, I'm not the first to do it, but I'm lucky enough to be a part of it. I love social media in a way because it allows our work to go places, especially hairdressing. Hairdressing has pushed us massively. It makes us better because we look at imagery and we think to ourselves, how do I create that? So you push yourself, it pushes you. It's almost like a mentor. You've got to take from it what you can. I always say, take the positives away and reject what is useless. So if something's making you feel bad or down, or it's making you slightly depressed, then walk away from it. And maybe go back to it another time. Social media for Slunks has definitely helped grow our business, but I would say it can also be draining and it can be very tiring. You are constantly searching for that image, and you are pushing yourself. But on a very plus side to that, it's great for the clients because we're getting better as hair artists because we're looking at other hairdressers. I also like the fact that social media has given me a community of hairdressers to speak to. And salon owners, like-minded salon owners to speak to. It's really good for interaction. I think the future for Slunks is just doing what we're doing. It's working. Why change something that's working? I hear a lot of times people say, why don't you open another salon up? But to me, you lose the identity of that. When you've got one amazing place for people to work and clients to come, you don't need anything else. It's why change something if it's not broken. It's a famous saying, and I totally live my life by it. I just want to maintain what we've got and treat my team the best I can, treat my clients the best I can. I don't want to become a money-making machine because that's not what we are. We're a creative hub, and I want to keep it that way.